Hello everyone, back again with movie and tune recap. Today, I'm going to explain an American action horror film from 2002, titled Resident Evil. Spoilers ahead, so watch out and take care. In the opening scene, a narrator explains that in the early 21st century, the Umbrella Corporation is the biggest company in the world. 9 out of 10 homes use their products, but the public does not know the truth. Umbrella secretly makes weapons for the military and creates dangerous viruses for biological warfare. There is also the Hive, a hidden underground laboratory located half a mile beneath Raccoon City, where over 500 people live and work. A man wearing a protective suit is handling a blue-colored T-virus and its green antidote using machines. He puts all of them into a locked suitcase, except for one T-virus, which he deliberately drops and breaks, and the virus spreads through the air vents. We then see a man drinking coffee, and another man, whose face we do not see, bumps into him and spills the coffee on him. The man then enters an elevator with other people, and next, we see workers inside the lab where the virus was released. An emergency alarm goes off, and at first, they think it is just a drill, but suddenly, water starts flooding the lab. They try to stop it and shout at the cameras, asking for help, which are controlled by a supercomputer called the Red Queen. The doors lock, trapping everyone inside, and then gas fills the rooms, causing everyone to lose consciousness. At the same time, the elevator from earlier suddenly stops and begins to fall, but it stops at level 3. A woman tries to step out, but the elevator drops again and stops just before crushing her head. The others try to pull her back inside, but the elevator suddenly moves up, and her head is cut off. In the next scene, a young woman named Alice wakes up in a shower. She has lost her memory and doesn't remember anything. She walks into her bedroom and checks her drawers, and in the third drawer, she is surprised to find a locked gun. Trying to figure out where she is, Alice goes into the hallway and finds a photo of herself with a man. Then she notices some movement outside. She walks out and calls into the darkness but receives no response. Suddenly, birds fly out of the trees and the wind starts blowing strongly. Someone quickly pulls her back inside, and SWAT officers break in through the windows. One of them, James, the leader of the group, grabs Alice and explains who they are. Another officer, Rain, captures a man named Matt, who says he is a police officer, and they all go downstairs into a hidden warehouse under the mansion. It leads to underground train tracks where a train is parked, and Alice asks who they are and why they are here. James explains that they are a team sent to shut down the Red Queen, a supercomputer inside the Hive, an underground lab where 500 scientists work. 5 hours earlier, a virus spread in the lab and killed everyone there. James also tells Alice that she was one of the 3 security guards for the Hive. They find that the train is not working, and Rain goes underneath to fix it. While working, she hears a noise and gets scared, but it turns out to be one of the officers above her. After she restores the power, everyone gets on the train, and Rain tries to close the door, but struggle with it. Another officer, Kaplan, helps her, but suddenly a man falls out from a hidden compartment on the train. Alice recognizes him as the man from the photo she saw earlier, but he also has no memory. When they arrive at the Hive, the team breaks open a locked steel door and starts looking for the Red Queen's control room. They walk through a hallway with a glass wall on one side, and on the other side, they see the lab filled with water, and then, the body of a dead woman floats toward the glass. Alice asks how long her memory loss will last, and James explains that it was caused by a gas released when the virus spread. The virus should wear off in about an hour, and as they walk away, the dead woman suddenly opens her eyes and hits the glass. Alice and the group enter a large room, where one of the doors leads to the Red Queen's chamber. Alice looks through a small window in the door to check inside. She senses something is there, but she does not understand what it is. It is actually a large monster. Alice, Kaplan, James, Dana, and another man enter the Red Queen's chamber, and Kaplan restores power to the room. James, Dana, and the other man step into a smaller section inside, while Kaplan works on unlocking the system. Once Kaplan finds the code, the door to the smaller room suddenly shuts, trapping the others inside. They panic and shout at Kaplan to open it, but suddenly, a laser appears and moves quickly across the room. James manages to dodge it, but the other man loses his fingers when the laser cuts through them, and Dana is killed when the laser hits her neck. The laser disappears, but then another one appears and moves toward them again, and this time, one of the men is cut in half. When a third laser appears, James believes he understands its pattern and tries to avoid it. However, the laser suddenly spreads into a grid that fills the entire room, and just as Kaplan shouts that he has disabled the system, the laser kills James. After this, Alice and Kaplan enter through the final door. They activate the system, and a hologram of a young girl appears. She is the Red Queen, and warns them that they are all going to die down there. Rain hears a noise and finds a woman. The woman looks weak and helpless, but suddenly jumps forward and bites Rain's hand. JD walks over and shoots the woman in the leg, but she doesn't die. Then Rain shoots her with a machine gun, and she dies, and while everyone is distracted, Matt quietly picks up the key to his handcuffs. When the team looks back, the woman's body is gone, and just then, they hear the sound of metal dragging on the ground. A zombie appears, dragging an axe, and soon many blood-covered zombies surround them, including Spencer, Kaplan, Rain, and JD. Everyone starts shooting while Matt tries to unlock his handcuffs, and a zombie attacks him, but Alice shoots it. The group splits up, and Kaplan tries to open a door using a passcode while Spencer rushes him. JD kills a zombie and pushes Kaplan aside to help. Kaplan struggles to remember the code but finally gets it right, and JD unlocks the door. The door opens, but zombies rush in, and JD is grabbed. Rain tries to pull him back, but she gets bitten again on her right arm. They fail to save him and run into the Red Queen's chamber while JD dies.